Well, we've been looking at Joseph this week, and Joseph had been one that had been a slave. We know that his brothers sold him into slavery. Joseph has been a prisoner, but now he's been released from prison, and he is second in command of all of Egypt. Joseph was tasked then to lead an effort to store food and all throughout Egypt, to store food to survive 7 years of famine. Joseph is a powerful man, only second to Pharaoh, and he is tasked with this. Well, people would come and they would buy food from the Egyptians, and there was a couple of times that Joseph's brothers came from Canaan to come and buy food, but they never recognized him, but he recognized his brothers. Well, finally, Joseph reveals himself to his brothers. And so let me read to you Genesis 45, verse 3 through 8. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still living?" But they could not answer him because they were terrified in his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Please come near me." And they came near. "I am Joseph, your brother," he said, "the one you sold into Egypt. And now don't be grieved or angry with yourselves for selling me here, because God sent me ahead of you to preserve life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there will be 5 more years without plowing or harvesting. And God sent me ahead of you to establish you as a remnant within the land and to keep you alive by great deliverance. Therefore, it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh, lord of the entire household, and ruler over all the land of Egypt." And Joseph could have easily been bitter and been unforgiving with his brothers. He was, as I said, second in command. He could have had them thrown in prison. He could have had them killed. But Joseph forgave them. And he knew all of this. Him being a slave, him being a prisoner, all of this was part of God's plan for the survival of Israel. You know, forgiveness can be hard. Forgiveness can be very hard. You know, you could see that person that wronged you, and you could think to yourself, you know, that you don't need to forgive them. You know, you relive that hurt when you see them. And when someone tells you to forgive them, your first instinct would be, well, you don't understand. You don't understand what that person did. You don't understand how that person hurt me. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to come out here to the playground today was because there's one that does understand. Those crosses behind me show me that there's one who understands. Jesus understands. God sent his son so that you and I could be forgiven. You know, we don't deserve it. Just like the person in your life doesn't deserve to be forgiven. But just as God has forgiven us, he calls us to forgive others as well. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. Hope you'll join me again tomorrow as we look at the end of the book of Genesis.